Hello friends, my name is BK Kollapre. In this video, we will continue with some more problems on normal stresses and tangential stresses on a plane. So here we will take up a problem. Suppose there is an element A, B, C. We will go with the same notations A, B, C and D. Let it be subjected to stresses in x direction as 80 Newton per mm square, 80 Newton per mm square, and stresses in y direction. This will be 50 Newton per mm square, 50 Newton per mm square. Earlier video we have seen such a problem. In this case we are going to add an extra problem, what we call it as the value, what we call it as the shear stress, and this value of shear stress will be equal to 30 Newton per mm square. See the way in which these stresses are acting. If this is up, this will be down. If this is up, this will be right and this will be left. So that means at the corners the arrows are in the same direction. They are meeting each other at the opposite corners. Now here this is a case. Let us first note down the data. So sigma 1 is equal to 80 Newton per mm square. It is tensile in nature, so it's positive. Then sigma 2 is given to us 50 Newton per mm square. This is also tensile in nature, so it is positive. Q is 30 Newton per mm square. The sign convention is, if it is the x phase for me, so if it is anti-clockwise on the x phase, then we take it as positive, and the angle theta which I want to determine the normal stress and tangential stress, if I give this as 40 degrees, so you will be finding out the normal stress and tangential stress on this. So theta, if I take it as 40 degree, it is measured in anti-clockwise direction with the x phase, so we take it as positive. Noting down data with signs is important here. Formula remains the same. So normal stress, if I go for here, if I use this equation, in this case Q is also there, it is not 0 as in earlier case. If I substitute the values in this formula, so it will be 80 plus 50 divided by 2 plus 80 minus 50 divided by 2, cos of 2 into theta is 40 minus Q is 30 into sine 2 into 40. If you simplify this, you get the value of sigma n is equal to 180.92 Newton per mm square. 180.92 Newton per mm square. Similarly, if I substitute the value in sigma t, this equation, you get minus 80 minus 50 divided by 2 into sine of 2 into theta is 40 plus 30 in, sorry, here it is plus it will be 180, and this will be minus here, so this will be plus q cos 2 theta, so cos of 2 into 40. If you simplify this, you get the value of sigma t as minus 9.56 Newton per mm square, minus 9.56 Newton per mm square. So you can find out the resultant stress by using the formula sigma under root n square plus sigma root t square. If I simplify this value, you get sigma r is equal to 181.17 Newton per mm square. It is positive, means it is tensile in nature, and sigma phi, the angle of obliquity, tan phi or phi, you get the value of phi is equal to 51.6 degrees, 51.6, and this is given by tan phi is equal to sigma t by sigma n. If you simplify the value, you get sigma is phi is equal to 51.6 degrees. Now this is the analytical method of solving the problems where sigma 1, sigma 2 and q is also given. So for this, if I go by analytical method, graphical method, we'll try now. So for the graphical method, for my simplification I am drawing this circle so that the figure will be convenient for you. So in the beginning we don't have this circle. Now we will be plotting this circle. Now here what we'll do, we'll select a point origin. Suppose if I select a point origin here, both are tensile, so both will be measured in the right direction. So here now plot a distance OA. This OA will represent the stress sigma 1 OA. Similarly, plot a point OB. This OB will represent the value of sigma 2. So sigma 1 and sigma 2. Here we have got the shear stress, and shear stress on the x face is anti-clockwise, means it is positive. So what you do here, from A, draw a line down. Suppose if I call this as P. This OAP will represent the shear stress Q at A. At B, draw a line up. Let us call this as Q. This value BQ will be again equal to Q. So here it is down and here it is up if it is positive. Now with this PQ, join this PQ, you get a center C here. With center as C and radius CQ or CP, draw a circle. Draw a circle. Now this circle we call it as the Mohr circle. Draw a Mohr circle. Now here you will have to find out the normal stress and tangential stress on the plane BE. So what you do, from CP draw a line. Suppose if I QR. This should be angle 2 theta. So theta is 40 degrees, so this will be 2 theta. Now from this you drop a perpendicular. Let it be S. Join O and R. Now this distance OS will represent the normal stress OS, and this distance RS will represent the tangential stress, and this distance OR will represent the resultant stress, and this angle ROA, this will represent the angle of obliquity phi. So this is the stress diagram. Important thing is to consider the sign conventions. Tension right hand side. If shear is positive, it will be going down. If theta is positive, it is measured in anti-clockwise direction. So graphically try this problem and locate the normal stresses and the tangential stresses. We'll take another problem. In both the cases, we have seen the stresses are positive only because they are tensile stresses or normal stresses. We'll take another problem here. Suppose if I consider an element A, B, C and D. If it is subjected to tensile stress of 50 Newton per mm square in x direction, and in y direction it is subjected to compressive load of 120 Newton per mm square. I can show only one line or I can show number of lines, but the things remains the same. 120 Newton per mm square. It is subjected to shear also on corner, then opposite corner. This shear stress acting, if I take it as 25 Newton per mm square, then you are required to find out the normal stress and tangential stress on a plane making an angle of 65 degrees. This is an odd plane which is given to you. Our important face is this x face. Whatever we do, we will be doing with this with regards to the X phase. Now here we will note down the data. Sigma 1 is in X direction. This is 50 Newton per mm square. It is tensile, so it will be positive. Sigma 2, the value is 120 Newton per mm square, but it is compressive in nature, so it should be minus. Q is equal to 25 Newton per mm square, but on X phase it is going clockwise, so if it is clockwise it will be minus. Anti-clockwise is always positive. Now coming to the angle theta, we take this angle theta with the X phase. Now here if you see this plane BE, he has given this angle as 65, but if I measure it from the X phase, this angle, so 90 minus 65, so this angle will be 25 degrees. So for our calculations we will be using this angle with the X phase, so this angle is 25 degrees. One. Second is, we are measuring in a clockwise direction, so whenever we measure the angle in the clockwise direction, we take it as negative. So this data with the signs are important. Rest of the things is substituting in the formula. If you substitute in the formula, sigma n is equal to, let us substitute 50 plus, so this will be minus 120 divided by 2, plus 50 minus minus will become plus 120 divided by 2, cos of 2 into minus 25, 2 into minus 25 plus q. Q is negative here, so this will be minus 25 into sine of 2 into minus 25. So if you simplify for this value, you get sigma n is equal to 38.79 Newton per mm square. And if I found out sigma t, tangential stress, using this formula, minus, so sigma 1 is 50, minus minus will become plus 120 divided by 2, sine of 2 into minus 25, plus q will become minus 25 into cos of 2 into minus 25. If you simplify for this, you get sigma t will be equal to 48.93 Newton per mm square. So this is positive, means it is in tension. This is positive, means it is in anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise shear on the plane. So these are the values that you will be getting. So sigma r will be equal to under root sigma n square plus sigma t square. So if you simplify this, you get 62.44 Newton per mm square, and angle of obliquity tan phi will be equal to sigma n by sigma t, sigma t by sigma n. So this will be 48.93 divided by 38.77. You get the value of phi is equal to 51.6 degrees. So this is the thing that you will be calculating. Important thing is for knowing the values. So if I show it on this plane BE, AE, if I take this plane AE here, AE. Now this plane is making an angle of 25 degrees here with our X plane. We will try to locate the stresses on this plane. So we have got normal stress, it is tensile. So this is your normal stress, sigma n is equal to 38.79 Newton per mm square. Sigma t is positive, so positive means it should be measured in the anti-clockwise direction. So this will be measured in the anti-clockwise direction. Sigma t is equal to 48.93. If I draw the parallelogram law, so this will represent the resultant stress, sigma r, and sigma r is equal to 62.44, and the angle phi is 51.6. So this angle with the vertical, this angle is phi, is equal to 51.6 degrees. Say this angle phi is positive, so we are measuring in anti-clockwise direction with the normal. So this is the figure that you will have to show. Now based upon this, you can try to draw the Mohr circle by using the sign convention. So in this problem, we have seen how to find out normal stress, tangential stresses. Now there is another category of problem I have told you, where stresses are given to you. You will have to find out a plane where there are no shear stresses. So when there are no shear stresses, we call that plane as a principal plane, and stresses acting on the principal plane, we call them as principal stresses. So second category of problem what we will be taking is how to find out the principal stresses and how to locate the principal planes. Now if you see here this formula, this gives a tangential stress. For principal planes, whenever you call principal planes or principal stresses, you find there are no shear stress. The plane on which there are no shear stress, we call such planes as principal planes, and the stresses acting on principal planes are principal stresses. Means there will be no tangential stress in the system or on the plane. Now when sigma t is 0, if I use this relation minus sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 sine 2 theta plus q cos 2 theta, this will be equal to 0. If I simplify by sine 2 theta by cos 2 theta, then this will be sigma 1 let me go one more step. Okay. Sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 sine 2 theta, this will be equal to q cos 2 theta. So sine 2 theta by cos 2 theta, so this will be equal to 2q divided by sigma 1 minus sigma 2, and this value is nothing but tan theta. Now we know in a right angle triangle, if this angle is theta, then tan is opposite by adjacent. Opposite if I take it as 2q, and adjacent if I take it as sigma 1 minus sigma 2, and we know the hypotenuse given by sigma 1 minus sigma 2 whole square plus 2q whole square. This is the hypotenuse. Now in this equation, this is the normal stress. We have got cos 2 theta, we have got sin 2 theta. So here I can find out sin 2 theta, this is 2 theta is equal to, sin is opposite by hypotenuse, I get the value. Cos 2 theta will be equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. Knowing these values, if you substitute in this equation, means there will be no shear stress on that plane, and if you simplify it, you get only principal stresses. You get only principal stresses, and those principal stresses, if I call it as sigma 1, this will be equal to sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 plus under root sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 whole square plus q square. On simplification you get this is the stress. Now there are two planes, one is theta 1 and another is theta 2. If there is one plane, there will be another plane making an angle of 90 degrees difference. So if this angle is say theta 1, then this angle which this plane will be making will be equal to theta plus 90 degrees. So this angle will be at theta and 2 theta. 2 theta is theta 2 is nothing but theta 1 plus 90 degrees. So there will be always two planes on which the principal stresses will be acting. One, if I call it as P1, the stress on the other plane, if this is one plane, this is another plane, this is given, if I call it as P2, this is given by sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 minus under root sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 plus q square. So you should remember this formula to find out the principal stresses. P1 is with plus sign, P2 is with the minus sign. So sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2 plus or minus under sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2 plus q square. So this will give you the value of principal stresses. We need the principal plane. Just now we have seen tan 2 theta. Tan 2 theta is equal to 2q divided by sigma 1 minus sigma 2. So the plane where it will be 0 will be, you locate this angle theta by substituting the values depending upon the sign convention. You get the angle where the principal planes are there, where there are no shear stresses. So you get two values, one is theta 1 and another will be theta 2. So there will be two planes on which there will be principal stresses acting. Now based upon this, we will go to second category in the next video, where we are locating or finding out the principal plane and what are the stresses acting on the principal plane, P1 and P2. P is representing here principal stresses, no shear stress there. So please subscribe the video for more channels, press the bell icon for notifications, comment for questions in the comment sections. Thank you.